Boys and girls, I'm glad that in our lesson today we are able to have our bears with us from home. Now, what does the bear say? Oh, that was kind of frightening, but I'm so glad that your bears are happy bears. Here I have special sounds. Let's go through these quickly. Tell me the special sound. Gull and glue, G-L. Fur and frog, F-R, fur. Twat and twins, T-W, twat, twat, twat. Cur and crab, C-R. Holly.
A and pray, A-Y-A-A-A.
Sapa.
I and fly, Y, I.
Good. Friends watching. Perfect. Dur and drum, D-R. Dur, dur, dur. Lincoln.
Bull and
Let's help them out. Bullin, block.
B-L.
Bull, bull, bull. Girls. In scat, S-C. Boys.
O and go, G-O.
Stop.
O.
Stop. Look at this. These are full, but I have to take one from the girls because Holly said it with me. So Holly, you can come get this one and take it back to your seat. I think the girls are going to win today. We're going to try it again. Boys.
O and go, G-O.
O and go. O, 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 O. You know what, Mason? I heard you. You can come get this one. You were the little boy who was working so diligently. Everybody. Gur and grin. G-R, gur, gur, gur. Show me a grin. I like those grins. And smoke. S-M. Stand up with your bears. And let's be football players. Tur and train, T-R, tur, tur, tur. Hoo. With this one, we are going to be a bear. So we're going to go like this as we say it. And at the end, we can go roar. Are you ready? Purr and pray, P-R, purr, purr, purr. Roar. Now let's say it like a baker. Skr and scream, S-C-R, skr, skr, skr. Mamma mia! Have a seat. Tell me the sound 3 times. Spur, spur, spur. Swa, swa, swa. Sn, sn, sn. Stir, stir, stir. What special sound is this? Stir and stream. S-T-R, stir, stir, stir. I love your hard work. Oh, wait. Did you hear that? It's kind of like a light scratching. I kind of hear a little squeak somewhere. Now I have to tell you, when I think of little scratches and squeaks, I think of mice or even a mouse. But I have to tell you, it's a good thing we're in our room, because if Mrs. Turner were to ever see a mouse, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm probably going to go, ah! and run away from the mouse. But I still hear that scratching. And where is it coming? I don't know. But, you know, we've got work to do. It's okay. I'm sure we're not going to see a mouse. We're going to be okay. But we kind of have work to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to learn a new special sound. And that's what I heard. It was a little mouse squeaking. Boys and girls, this is a new special sound. Let me tell you all about it. Squat and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw. Listen. Squat and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw. Squat and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw. Listen again. Squat and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw. You say what I say.
You say what I say.
Squaw, squaw, squaw.
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 Squat and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw.
Squaw and squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw.
Now I have to let you know that squat and squeak, S-Q-U, comes at the beginning of a word. Where?
The beginning of a word.
Where? The beginning of a word. Now I wonder whose teddy bear is going to be the most dependable. You hold that teddy bear and you help me say this. Go. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Stand up. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Like a cheerleader. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Yay! Be a basketball player. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Whoosh! Be a bear. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Roar! Oh, okay, that bear sound is kind of frightening. Have a seat. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat.
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat.
Good. Well, we're going to go over here and look at our board, and we're going to say this special sound a lot more. But, you know, before we get to the board, I've got something special. Do you see these? They're what? Blends. I don't know. You're just kind of little, but I wonder if you remember. What's so special about Q and U? Are stuck together, they always stand beside each other. When we learned our QU blends, we never had a QU with a U with it. We didn't say that. We did qua, qua, qui, qua, but we didn't need to say qua because it's already there. That's the same thing with this special sound. We have to be careful. When you see SQU, this is a special sound. And what do we do with special sounds? We circle it because it's special. You are not going to find a word that has SQUU. You're not going to find that. This is a special sound. These two letters are stuck together. They're a team. They work together. And now these three letters are stuck together. They're a team. Let's go over our blends. Squat, square, 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 square. Squat, square.
Square, square, square.
Squat is square, 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 square. Squat, squaw, 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 squaw. Would I have a squaw? No, you're right. Read this for me, Safa.
Square.
Square. Friends watching. Good. Square. Holly.
Squid.
Square. Michaela.
Squaw.
Squaw. Fantastic. Now let's do long vowels. Squaw. Oh. Squow. 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 Squaw. I. Squy. 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 Squaw. E. Squee. 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 Squaw. A. Squay. Squay, squay, squay. I like your hard work. Give a roar. Roar! Oh, I'm glad that for this lesson your bears are here with us. Now let's look this way. This is the back of our card. What special sound do you see in this word?
Squoo.
Squaw. In
Squeak.
S-Q-U. Squaw, squaw.
Squaw.
Let's clap it. Let's clap it. Squat in squeak. S-Q-U. Squaw, squaw, squaw. Do it again. Squat in squeak. S-Q-U. Squaw, squaw, squaw. And if I see squat in squeak, S-Q-U, what do I do, Michaela?
You circle S-Q-U.
Because
It's a special sound.
it's a special sound. How many vowels do I have left?
1.
Little.
I.
So we mark it with a,
Smile.
read that word, Michaela.
Squid.
Squid. Do you know where you would find a squid? Would you find it on land or in the water?
In water.
Good, you would find it in the water. Oh, let's do this one. What special sound do you see, friends watching? Good. Squaw in squeak, S-Q-U, squaw, squaw, squaw. Now, look at that. There are 3 vowels, but it's still going to follow that 2 vowel rule. So the first one's going to say it's long sound. And the second one is silent, and that last one is going to be silent. So let's read it. Squee, squeeze, squeeze. Everybody give your teddy bear a great big squeeze. Oh, how fun was that? Let's do this one. What special sound do you see, Safa?
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U, squat, squat, squat.
And we circle it because it's
Special.
good. How many vowels do you see, Safa?
2.
So the first one says it's
Long sound.
and the second one is
Silent.
good. Can you read that word?
Squeak.
Squeak. Use the word squeak in a sentence for me, please. Holly, squeak.
Mice can squeak.
Maybe they can. What is our new special sound? Everybody stand up with your bears. Tell me. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Have a seat. I need helpers. Come circle the special sound and mark the vowels in this word for me, please, Kylie. Come do this word for me, please, Michaela. And come do this word for me, please, Micah. While the friends do any color but the black marker because it won't show up very well. Boys and girls, while they're doing that, let's review a little bit of our special sound. I know that the friends in here, they're going to be able to help me. Squat and squeak. Begin. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Will you say it for us, Safa, the whole special sound?
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat.
Good. Say it for us, Cyrus.
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat.
Stand up. Begin. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Have a seat. Let's see how our friends did. All right, come step over this way. If this is yours, come see me. What did you circle, Kylie?
Squat and squeak.
Q.
Squat, squat, squat.
2 vowels. First one says it's long sound. Second is silent. Can you read that? Squeal. It is fun to squeal. Go sit down. What is this one? What's your special sound?
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U.
Good. And how many vowels?
1.
And you marked it with a,
1.
what is this word?
1.
Squint. Do you know what it means to squint? When Mrs. Turner takes her glasses off, it's hard for me to see, and so I squint. I kind of close my eyes and try to look carefully. Everybody try to do that. Go, squint. Yeah, there you go. You were able to squint. Thank you, Michaela. And then let's look right here. Micah, can you tell all of our friends watching, come stand beside me, what you circled? I circled.
Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. And shift. S-H.
And what is your word?
Squish.
Squish. Excellent. Who can use the word squish in a sentence? Squish. Michaela?
I squished a bug that was in this classroom.
Oh, Mrs. Turner doesn't like bugs. Oh, and I don't like to squish them. Well, friends, you did great. Before we go to seat work check, go ahead and stand up and let's say our new special sound. Squat and squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Have a seat. Boys and girls, at this time, I want you to make sure that you have your seat work papers out. We're going to go ahead and check our paper just to see how well we did for our seat work. This paper is your phonics paper. Number 1 says, circle the word that names each picture. Holly, go ahead and read what you circled in the first row.
I circled trap, bone, and teeth.
Excellent. What did you circle in the second row, Michaela?
leg, jet, shell.
Good. What did you circle in the third row, friends watching? Yes, belt. Tape, you got it. And the last one? Pie, way to go. What did you circle in the last one for me, please, Safa?
Seat, crib, back.
And that is fantastic. Let's go ahead and turn our seat work over to the back. On the back, the directions said circle the special sounds and mark the vowels. We're not going to go through all of them, but we're going to do just a little bit. The first one was done for you. They circled K in duck, CK. What's the next special sound in the title? Turin. Train, T-R, tur. One vowel, little I, and mark it with a
Mile.
Good. Let's just go through the first row. So everybody look at your paper and help me through it. The first word, what special sound do you see? Tell me the sound 3 times. Little A, I mark it with a smile. Little I mark it with a smile. O, O, O. Oh, what do you see right there? T-O is a? Remember? It's not a special sound, but remember we had a friend and they would come visit. He would come visit and he had a big nose and bushy eyebrows and he was Mr.
Sight
Right, 2 is a sight word, so we're just going to leave it alone. 2 vowels, first one says it's, and the second one is silent. 2 vowels, first one says it's, and the second is silent. Now for our friends who are watching, your on-site teacher, they will check the rest of these for you. At this time, Holly, will you read the whole story?
Jack's trip. Jack will go to see Mike. He will ride in a plane. The plane is red and blue. It will be fun.
You know, I saw that exclamation point too, and you read that so smoothly. And then it says draw a picture to go with the story. So let's see Holly's picture. She read the story. Oh, look. I love her hard work. I love what she did on her paper. She was able to follow those directions. Well, we had a fun lesson. Go ahead and leave your seat work on your desk and stand up. You could have your bear, and let's say our new special sound like a bear. Squat in, squeak, S-Q-U, squat, 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 roar! Do it again. Squat in, squeak, S-Q-U, squat, 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 roar! You may be seated. We have just a minute, so Mrs. Turner would like for us to take the time that God has given us, and we're going to be good stewards of it. We're going to use it well. So let's review special sounds. Begin. Squow. Squy. Good, Micah. Squee. Sway. Squall. Let's do short vowels. Squaw. That was Lincoln. Square. Good friends watching. Square. Squaw. And let's finish our lesson by standing up and saying our new special sound one more time like a bear. Squat in, squeak. S-Q-U. Squat, squat, squat. Roar! You may quietly turn around and face our friends who are watching, and you can say it to them like a bear. Squat in, squeak, S-Q-U, squat, 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 roar! Oh, friends, how fun was that? You may be seated. Oh, I enjoyed our lesson. We were able to learn squat in, squeak, S-Q-U. Now, can you say it without the picture? Go. Squat in, squeak, S-Q-U, squat, squat, squat. Without seeing it, go. Squat in, squeak, S-Q-U, squat, squat, squat. Good job today, friends. Mrs. Turner is so proud of you, and your bears made our lesson so much fun.